First of all, I know it's only 24 hours or so after what was a tight game yesterday, but the boys will be recovering today. But is there any sort of injuries or fitness worries at all going into this weekend at all?
Not at the moment, JD, and I say at the moment because obviously, as you can imagine, boys have come in and they're just doing recoveries. There's nothing what's glaring out. I think tomorrow we'll have a better idea of how they fully come out the games. But as it stands at the moment, yeah, everyone was fine. Obviously tired from yesterday, but everyone was fine. We're coming out of the game.
I do want to talk about the game because it's it's going to be a centre of controversy. I respect how open you were yesterday. Now you've had a chance to sort of digest and think about the incident. I'm talking about Josh Bates goal that was disallowed. What's your reflection upon the incident now?
It's the same, really. My opinion on the actual incident, and I think I stated that after the game. I understand the reason the goal was disallowed yesterday because that was the rule. I don't agree with that, and common sense needs to prevail in that situation. And I think I've just heard now that we've changed that rule, or IFAB have decided to change that rule, which is again disappointing. To think that we're at the back end of a competition now and we're changing rules what have been in place at the start of the season and now they're changed and that. So, look, my stance on VAR is not going to change and it's been that since it came in really. We're looking for perfection. And I'm not just talking about football, we talk about the world we live in. You're taking a selfie these days, you put 14 filters on it to get the perfect complexion or the perfect coloured eyes. And the reality is there's something more to that, and there's something deeper, which is what we all want. And certainly with football, that's exactly what we're trying to create. We're trying to create a sterile, a perfect scenario game, which I think ultimately in the end is going to destroy it, to be quite honest with you, because the game is about emotion, raw emotion. You know, when the fans come back into the stadium and they experience firsthand what the disappointment, what can happen, and how it works, I think it's going to leave everyone disappointed at times. And really, that's always been my main worry and my main issue with this. And from what's gone from hopefully just trying to get the real big decisions right, has slowly turned into practically every decision, anything in the game is that let's try and iron out any imperfection we have. And when you're trying to do that, you're going to lose something which is more important, and that is exactly what I'm talking about. And I'm afraid to say, for me personally, and this is just my opinion, I feel that we are losing that.
You talk about losing the game. I do remember in my younger days or so the purity of obviously the reaction when you score a goal. I saw how open you were yesterday in terms of that element being lost because players are now having to wait to see if the goals actually going to be able to be more stand. Do you feel like we're losing it from that aspect as well?
Yeah, that's one of the key things. Now, like you say, you score a goal and everyone just stands there. Your instinct, and at this present moment in time, because it's still quite new, you still sometimes react. But as quickly as you react, as in your raw emotion of, yes, we've scored, let's celebrate, as quickly as you do that, then you quickly realise, oh no, we need to get it checked. And we all stand around asking the fourth official, the players, is it okay? Was it okay? That's something which it's a crime, really. Honestly, I think we're in very dangerous waters, to be quite honest with you. And again, I state this is my opinion, but we're in dangerous waters. And I get, like I said, I repeat myself, the world we're in at this moment in time, everyone's looking for something which is perfect, whether that's analysing a football match now. We're going to do everything we can. We're going to bring everyone into studios. We're going to use every screen, every gadget. Sometimes there's something left a bit raw in life. Sometimes the rawness of something and the real what something's about is sometimes left better untouched. And certainly when it comes to our game of football, I personally think that should be the case.
These games are coming so thick and fast because I only caught up with you a couple of days ago and now I'm preparing you for another game. and we'll talk to you about Liverpool. And the good part about sort of the interactive world we live in, I can really see the quotes that Jurgen Klopp has said about you today. And he has high praise in terms of saying you're one of the best young managers that he's been up against in his tenure so far. I just want to know how you respond to one of the best managers in the league giving you that.
Oh, well, look, that's I've not seen them, but unbelievable from that side in terms of hearing it from someone who I have the utmost respect for, someone who's come into a top football club and really transformed them. And it's big to say that when you consider the stature of the club of Liverpool, really. So when you are a young manager, you're always looking, and certainly from my point and what I am, I'm always looking at every manager I come up against and looking at what makes them so special, or why they have this and that. And Jurgen is one of them guys, really. So he's done a fantastic job, and someone, of course, that I certainly see and hold in that sort of regard, really.
I know you're a competitor, though, so I have to ask the other question. Is this a good time to face Liverpool? He was even open in his press conference and talked about how the injuries have disrupted their season. Is this a good time to actually face the defending champions?
It could be, certainly could be. At the same breath, you're playing a wounded animal, and you're playing against a team that are obviously at this moment in time are in a bit of a tricky spell, and that's clear to see. But we need to be very, very wary of that. And when you're playing against a wounded animal, what have the class and the quality that Liverpool possess, then you need to tread very, very carefully, while also understanding that you approach the game in the right manner and the right way, and you can assert yourself in certain moments of this football match that maybe you have a chance, of course. So I think it's probably a little bit in between both of them stools, really. So huge respect for this team we're playing against, also understanding that where they are, and as always, try and put a stamp on this game and try and get something out of it.
Thank you as always, Scott.
Cheers, JD. Thank you, mate.
Thanks, JD. That's Prem G, Premier League Productions.
Hi, Scott. You okay?
Yes, good. Thank you.
Scott, during your recent sort of revival, you've tightened up a lot defensively. How pleasing is that from your point of view? Because you've had, before last night, obviously a decent unbeaten run, and you weren't conceding many goals, which has got to be pleasing, hasn't it?
Really pleasing. Look, I think like anything, you keep clean sheets, or you become more solid, and everyone automatically looks at the back five with the keeper and the defenders. And it's fair to say that them boys have put a lot of work in. I include the other players what are in and around it as well. But I think as a team, collectively, our out of possession work has been exceptional, and that's been key to it, really. So while there's obviously been mass improvement in the back unit and the work we've done on that, I think also as a team defensively from front to back, we've done very well. So you always need to give yourself a platform, and certainly for us this year, that was always going to be the case. We're never going to be able to win games, probably 2-3 goals. So in knowing that you need to be solid defensively to go and win football matches in this division, and we give ourselves a chance of doing that.
You're within touching distance of getting above that dotted line. Depending on the results, how good would it be psychologically from your point of view and the team's point of view to actually have a little period, even if it's for a couple of hours, above that dotted line, getting out of that bottom three?
I don't know. From my point of view, it's not something I'm really focused on. I don't know. I can't speak for every individual player. I don't. I try my hardest to influence individuals. I try and influence the team in terms of what we need to focus on and what we need to look at. And while for me, psychologically, it's not really a big deal. At the end of the season, of course it is. And when we're nearing that moment, of course it is. But there's a lot of football to be played. What's my biggest focus is knowing that you have to win games, and to win games, you have to come with a certain way, really. And that's been the main focus, is us. Everything else is an irrelevance. A dotted line, 3 points off, 4 points off. Are they going to lose against that team, or they've got a tough fixture this week? It's just, can't control it. And what I can control and what we can control is what we do. And we need to win football matches. We know that. And best to do that is by focusing on us, and that's what we maintain to do.
JD mentioned the run that Liverpool are on. You look at their run at Anfield, I think it's 5 on the spin that they've lost. Do you think the fact that there is no home crowd, that big Anfield roar, and even for yourselves at the Cottage, the lack of a home crowd at various grounds has played a real part, hasn't it, with some of the results and the way teams are getting results? Yeah,
I think it's fair to say, definitely. And Anfield's exactly that, really. Played there for many times, and it's a daunting place to go, and that place is roaring, and 9 times out of 10 it is. Unbelievable fans there. And of course, I think at times every club, including ourselves, it's cliche, isn't it, that it's the 12th man a lot of the time in terms of the fans, and can they give you that extra edge at certain moments in games, and that extra roar or that momentum when they get right behind you as a player, it lifts you and it can drive a team. And certainly, I think for the majority of clubs this year, we've missed them. We've missed them times, really. Certainly, home fans. For sure, you'd rather be going to Anfield without the fans in there, because they're pivotal, and they're very good fans.
And just finally from me, Scott, obviously in your sort of young coaching career, how does keeping Fulham up potentially at the end of the season rate? Obviously you got promoted with them, but would this be the greatest achievement for you if you managed to keep the side in the Premier League with everything that's gone on?
I think it would be a great achievement for all of us, not for the team, for the players, for the football club. This club for some time now has been up and down, has been around it player-wise. When I look at our team, and you look at our team in terms of the players in it, there's not many players that have operated in the Premier League for a consistent amount of time. And myself, a young manager, first full season in the Premier League. So I think as a football club, as individuals in this team, and me and my staff, we all fit the bracket that this year would be massive for all of us to stay in the league, and that's our dying ambition. It's mine. It's mine for the football club, for the fans, but as individuals, as players, this is where you want to be operating. We've had a taste of that. Taking me personally out of this, I think this whole football club probably sits side by side with all of us as a club, as fans, as players, and as coach staff. This is where we want to operate, and we want more of that, really. So it'd be a big achievement for all of us.